Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to the two-part workshop series of personal branding and networking 101. I'm just going to give everyone a couple more minutes to sort of, um, enter the workshop. And in the meantime, I would love it if you could guys just introduce yourself in the chat, or if you want to unmute and go ahead and introduce yourself, that'd be great. I would love to meet you guys, and this is a very interactive workshop, so it'd be great if I could just kind of like get who it is, where they're from, and yeah, just like get to know one another a little better.
Feel free to speak, guys. Again, it's very interactive.
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to unmute and share something about yourself, or just want to put it in the chat, either way is fine, but I want to get to know you guys a little bit better. So just feel free to share anything you'd like. But we're already a couple minutes into the workshop, so I'll go ahead and get started. I just move this a little bit. Okay. Hi everyone, my name is Akhila Yellapragada. I am currently a rising junior. Actually, I will be a junior as of next week at the University of Georgia. I'm studying computer science and financial technology. My current research areas include the development of cube satellites. I'm currently a mission specialist at the UGA Small Satellite Research Lab. And another one of my research areas is using immersive technology and generative AI to further enhance financial literacy education and create tools to help increase those financial literacy rates. And apart from school and work, some of my hobbies include playing the violin, modeling, dancing, photography, and reading. So that's just a little bit about me. Um, so for the agenda and logistics of the workshop, this is a two-part workshop series. So the personal branding workshop starts at 4 p.m. Central Time Zone, 5 p.m. of course if you're on the Eastern Time Zone like me, and the networking workshop will begin at 4:30 p.m. Central Time Zone, just 5:30 EST. So you can stay for both the sessions or join whichever one you feel like you would want the most, you want to learn the most of. But I highly encourage you guys to stay throughout the duration of both workshops, because one kind of follows the other, and whatever you learn in the first workshop can be applied in the second workshop. But it's up to you guys to stay for whichever workshop you feel is the most beneficial to you. Another thing is that this is a very interactive workshop, so I'll be asking like a lot of questions, and there will be activities throughout the workshop. So feel free to unmute and share your thoughts or put them in the chat whenever. Of course, if you have any questions, put them in the chat or just unmute and ask. I want to create a very engaging and a very interactive environment for this workshop. So the more we interact and talk to each other and sort of work through the activities together, the better you guys will learn. So yeah, just some housekeeping things. And okay, so we're gonna hit the ground running here, and this is the first activity of the workshop. So in just a sec, I'm gonna display a few companies on the screen, and you guys are going to describe these companies using one phrase. And by describe, I mean in the sense of what are these companies known for and what do they do? So I'm going to start off with Apple. I'm sure everyone is familiar with Apple. A lot of computer science majors here, right? So what describes Apple in one sentence or a couple sentences? Like, what is it known for? What does company do? They're rich and expensive. Yeah, that's very true. Good user interface. Yeah, I could definitely agree with that. phones, devices, smartphones, their MacBooks, technology, general. So that's what kind of describes Apple, right? What about the next company, Amazon? What does Amazon do? What are they known for? And of course, you can unmute and share your answers. Shipping, selling stuff, delivery from anywhere around the world to marketplace. It's an e-marketplace, right? Okay, cool. And what about the last company, Google? What is Google known for? What did they do? It's a search engine, right? They also have their own devices, smartphones, laptops. It's one of the biggest search engines. It is useful. It also owns YouTube. They're the creator of Google Maps. I'm sure if anyone wants to search something up, you would just Google it, unless you guys use Bing or any other search engine. But yeah, that's kind of what describes those companies, right? Now, what about these people? I accidentally displayed both the people at once, but first person on the left, Mr. Bill Gates. What describes Bill Gates? What does he do? What is he known for? He's a software man. Yeah. He's known for Microsoft, CEO. Well, actually, founder of Microsoft. All right, some interesting answers. And what about person on the right, Taylor Swift? Any Taylor Swift fans in the chat, by the way? She's a good singer. She sings. Impossible to get tickets. Yes, learned that the hard way. Pop music. She's a singer. She's an artist. She's also a philanthropist. So the same thing with Bill Gates. He's really into philanthropy. Eras Tour, of course. Learned some interesting things about the Eras Tour the other day, by the way. But yeah, that's what describes those people, right? Okay, so why did I just make you guys do those couple of activities? Of course, you guys know what Google, Amazon, and Apple are, and I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with Bill Gates and Taylor Swift, but what was the reason behind those two activities? Well, what you just described to us in the chat, for example, you described Apple being a large tech firm, a large tech company. They're responsible for making smartphones, the Apple devices. Amazon is responsible for the e-marketplace. It's one of the largest e-marketplaces in the whole world, online shipping, and Google, it's a large search engine. And similarly with Bill Gates and Taylor Swift, Bill Gates is a philanthropist, founder of Microsoft, and Taylor Swift is a pop singer and a philanthropist as well. So why did I just make you guys do that? Well, all those descriptions of those companies or people that you guys just provided us are examples of their personal brands. So everything you described about Bill Gates, that's his personal brand right here. That's what defined him. And whatever you described about Taylor Swift, that's her personal brand, that she's a pop singer and that she's an artist and that she's a philanthropist. So that comes to our main point. What is a personal brand? So a personal brand is the collection or combination of all the skills, talents, traits, qualities, experience that define who you are. And everyone carries their own personal brand. So I know I just gave like examples of companies and people, but that doesn't mean you have to be like a world-class musician or an Olympic athlete to carry a personal brand. You could literally just be a first-year student at university, or someone that's a new grad, or someone that's been in the workforce for a while, but each and every one of those people carries their own personal brand. And that how you define your personal brand is completely up to you, and no one else can define it. So throughout this workshop, we're going to be teaching you guys how you define your personal brand and how you can really make yourself stand out amongst other people in the crowd or people in your competition if you consider to have one. So next point is, okay, so why is personal branding? So with a personal brand, you can really differentiate yourself from a crowd. You can create job opportunities and really grow your network and grow the number of people that you connect with on a daily basis. And it really brings forward the person that you really are, and it showcases to everyone what you bring to the table. So defining your personal brand is very, very important, and having like a really strong personal statement can significantly help you achieve whatever career goals you have or whatever networks that you want to enter in, or really just set yourself apart from the crowd and make yourself stand out better. So just a little quote, your brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. And Jeff Bezos said that, Amazon, and we just talked about it a few slides ago. But this is very true. So Taylor Swift and Bill Gates are unfortunately not in the room with me right now, but even though they're not in the room with us, we can tell so much about them, that Taylor Swift is not here to tell me that she's a pop singer or that she's an artist or a philanthropist. But I know this because this is the brand that she put out there for herself and that she wanted other people to know about her. And same thing with Bill Gates. And of course, the CEO of Amazon is not here with me right now, but he built that brand for Amazon, and that's what he publicized or marketed to other people. That's kind of the advertisement you have to put out there for yourself. So if I'm not in the room, what do other people want to know? What would I want other people to know about me? So how do you define your personal brand? There are several questions you can ask yourself, and there are a couple different ways you can go about this. I will begin to narrow down like how you guys can construct that personal statement of yours to really help you draft an elevator pitch, which we'll get into in our networking workshop. But having a personal statement can really help you create like a solid advertisement for yourself, a solid like brand name or brand logo for yourself to really market to other people. So you should ask yourself, what makes me special? Like, what are my talents, my skills, my strengths? And when I say talents and skills and strengths, like this could be soft skills or technical skills. Like if you're a really good leader, if you're maybe, let's say you're really good at coding in Java, that can really like help you elevate your personal brand. And what sets you apart from the crowd? Well, not everyone is an expert in Python, but maybe you are. So that's what sets you apart from everyone else. And how do you translate your uniqueness to value? So how resourceful are you as a person? So if I'm a really good programmer in Java, do people come to me for help in that? Do people ask me for help in math or any other subject? And what is it that I'm really proud of? So for example, I'm really proud that I'm a researcher at a satellite lab that's currently developing cube satellites. And it's a really unique experience because not everyone gets to do that. And that's something that really defined myself and defined my 3 years throughout undergrad. So if we go back a few slides, I did define my personal brand, which is why I introduced myself earlier. Just gonna go back here. So when I said meet your host, when I mentioned a little description about me, that was my personal brand. This is what defines who I am, what my skills are, what my strengths are, and also who I am outside of the classroom and outside of the workplace, because I am also a human being just like everyone else, and I also have my own sets of hobbies and interests that don't necessarily pertain to what's at the workplace or what's inside the classroom. So this is my personal brand right here, and I think this is the example that I'm gonna try to have you guys use in order to construct your personal brand throughout the workshop. So I'm gonna go a couple slides forward. And just to sort of narrow down that personal brand definition, just to define that personal brand definition a little further and kind of narrow down like what you can use to sort of define that personal brand of yours. It should be a either unique story that explains your journey and describes or explains how you got to where you are currently. It can also mention the skills that you have. So if you're really good at programming, or if you're a really good leader, if you have certain technical skills that you'd like to demonstrate, or you want other people to know about, that's another thing you can add in your personal brand. And lastly, your values. So what means most to you and what sticks out to you? What are your core values? So for example, I really value mentorship. I really value collaboration and leadership all at the same time when I'm working in a group setting. So those are some of the things that I really value when I'm choosing my career or another job opportunity for myself. These are the things that I look for. So the golden question is, if I want to impress someone, what would I want them to know about me? So imagine there is an employer or a recruiter or maybe a professor that's right in front of you and they haven't met you at all. This is the first interaction you're ever having with them. What do you want to know? What do you want them to know about you? So do you want them to know that you're a professional in Java, or that you're a business analyst, or you've been studying data science for the past 10 years, or that you work at a really big tech firm? What is it that you want them to know about you? And these are the sort of things that you should take into account when you're constructing that personal brand. So just some examples. These are not my own. These are just some examples that I've taken from other people that, they wanted to, include in their personal brand examples in their workshops. So these are other people's personal brands, but these are really good examples of how you can sort of construct that personal statement. So this first example is a highly driven engineering student with a passion for robotics and automation, and they're striving to revolutionize manufacturing processes and improve efficiency for a sustainable future. That's a really solid personal brand statement right there. And of course, you don't have to make it as long or as complex as this person did over here, but this personal brand statement works because not only defines what they are doing currently. So over here we have, trying to get the point here, but here they mentioned that they're an engineering student. Not only are they an engineering student, but they're a highly driven engineering student. So those first couple of words automatically captivates the audience's attention, or whoever they're speaking with. And it also mentions what they're passionate about. So they really like robotics and automation. So that kind of describes what they're interested in and what they want to continue working in further within the engineering industry. They're also striving to revolutionize manufacturing processes and improving efficiency for a sustainable future. That entire sentence right there describes their goal and what they value. So the whole working towards building a sustainable future, that's their value right there. And striving to revolutionize manufacturing and improve efficiency, that's their goal. So this is a very solid statement. This is a more straightforward one, but it also works. So this person says that they're an analytical problem solver pursuing a career in data science. They are enthusiastic about turning complex data sets into actionable insights for a smarter decision making. This also works because they're mentioning what they're doing. They're pursuing a career in data science. The first couple of words state one of their skills. So they're an analytical problem solver. And problem solving can fall both under technical and soft skills section. So that also captivates the audience's attention. They are enthusiastic about turning complex data sets into actionable insights for smarter decision making. That describes their goal and what their interests are. So again, a very solid personal brand statement. I think we have some questions. Okay, so just take a little pause here because I think we have some questions in the chat. Before this activity of this workshop, I just want to run through. Does anyone have any questions that they want to ask or any comments before we get started?
I think I saw a question in the chat from Natasha, I believe, who said that she wants to she's currently a college student and she wants to major in computer science, but she actually wants to study finance. So how would she include that in her personal branding?
Yeah, absolutely. So if computer science and finance is something that you're both interested in, then you can absolutely mention that in your personal statement. So you could say something along the lines of, "Hi, my name is Natasha. I'm currently a college student studying computer science, but is also interested in the financial industry. So I'm looking for opportunities to further enhance my knowledge in both those respective fields." But if you're majoring in computer science, but you're only interested in finance, then you can mention, I am interested in finance, but I also have certain technical skills in computer science. So maybe you're good at Java, or you're good at Python or C. You can mention that as well. So state what you're interested in, but also mention what you're skilled in at the same time, because it'll never hurt you. And any other questions? Okay, I think that's it for the questions for now, but moving on to our next activity. We're going to take the next few minutes to sort of write down the following phrases or sentences. So for this activity, you're going to write down, oh, I accidentally wrote example here, that should not be there, but you're going to write down 2 sentences that describe your current academic and career status, 1 quality that makes you unique and sets you apart from the crowd, and 1 skill you'd like to showcase. So for example, if we go back to my personal statement, I mentioned that I'm currently a rising junior at the University of Georgia studying computer science and financial technology. That is my academic and career status, what I'm currently doing. 1 quality that makes me unique and sets me apart from the crowd is that I'm a mission specialist at the Small Satellite Research Lab, and I'm currently developing cube satellites that we're going to send to space in the next year. And 1 skill that I'd like to showcase is, well, I have a diverse range of interests, ranging from aerospace and engineering to finance, and that I'm also very skilled in Java and Python and C, even though I didn't mention that in my personal brand out there, but that is something that I will include when I'm speaking with a recruiter, an employer, or someone within my company that I'm working at. So you can write this down on paper, or you can type this out, it's up to you. But we're gonna go until 5:28 Eastern time, but 4:28 Central time. So take the next few minutes to sort of write that down, and whenever you're ready, you can either unmute and share your personal statement or your few phrases, or you can put it in the chat, because I would really like to read everything that everyone's wrote. So go ahead and do that. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm here. So take the next 3 to 4 minutes in doing that, and then at the end, we can go around and discuss what everyone has, if you're interested. Sorry, I was muted. Just gonna give everyone an extra minute to sort of get those responses in. And whenever you're ready, please share it in the chat. I see a really good example in here, so you guys can take a look at it. Okay, it's 5:28. Hopefully you guys have wrapped up with the activity, and if you guys would want to go around and showcase what you've written in the chat, or if you want to unmute and talk about it, feel free to do so. No pressure if you don't want to. It's just if you think you have something really good written down and you want me to sort of critique it or sort of evaluate what you have, feel free in chat to drop it in the chat. Also, about the length wise for your personal statement, there isn't any specific length or template that you have to follow. I just kind of gave you guys this as a reference point. So in case it's your first time ever writing personal statement, this is kind of a good area to start off. But of course, you can add on to it or take away some things and sort of consolidate it. But as a rule of thumb, I would say it should not be more than 3 to 4 sentences, because those 3 to 4 sentences should sort of capture who you are as a person, describe what you do, and also mention what your strengths are or what your interests are. And I think you can get that in within 3 to 4 sentences. But if you have something that's pretty lengthy and you're unsure about it, you can use that as like something you could put on your LinkedIn. That is, I feel like the LinkedIn bio or the LinkedIn summary of the description of who you are. I think that's a good place to sort of expand and describe, like go into detail about your skills and your hobbies, your interests, and your current education and career status. But as of right now, for a personal statement, I would not go more than 3 sentences or 4 sentences, just to keep it to a minimum. Because if you're going to put your personal statement on a website in the future, or you're going to put it on your resume or a portfolio, you want it to be able to capture the reader's attention, and you don't want it to you don't want them to read a whole paragraph about who you are. Just a couple sentences that act as like a punchline and describe who you are without going into too much detail, because essentially whatever you're writing should kind of capture the essence of your work and your hobbies or interests. But so far, what I'm seeing in the chat, those are really great personal statements. They're very detailed and descriptive, which is great. But if you want to go ahead and start to consolidate those a little bit more, and cut it down a sentence or two, that would be a really good personal statement. But other than that, really great job with everything you guys written so far. Yeah, great job. So that concludes the workshop. You guys just defined your personal brand right there. So everything we just see in the chat, or even if you didn't share your personal statement, that's totally okay. Hopefully you have something down and you can use that on your resume or on your LinkedIn, or whenever you're speaking with someone, you can use those few sentences to sort of describe who you are and tell other people your work and give them a little glimpse of your life. So that concludes the workshop. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and share a survey that I want you all to take. and it would be really appreciated if this is the only workshop you're going to be here with me. Thank you so much for joining. It was really great having you guys here, and I really enjoyed working with you guys to really help you define your personal brand or your personal statement. It was really great meeting you all. So if this is going to be the only workshop you're going to stay here for in this two-part workshop series, please take the workshop survey that I put in the chat. I really appreciate your feedback or anything you have to say about the workshop or just any improvements that I can make would be really appreciated. Any feedback that I could get. It's very
Please
helpful.
fill out the survey. And one thing I do want to mention is that maybe for our next workshop, we could just be a little more respectful in the chat and like refrain from like using like just negative comments and such inappropriate language. Then it'd be really appreciated because Akhila is taking her time out of her weekend to give a presentation. But again, thank you for the people who are participating. But if they're just a couple of us, if we could just be more respectful, that would be appreciated.
Yeah, if we could keep the comments in chat pretty relevant to what's in the workshop, we can, as a group, we can have better results.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So go ahead and take that survey, but in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and get started with our next workshop, which is Networking 101. So just gonna take a couple minutes here. If there are new people joining the workshop, I just want to give them a couple minutes to join and sort of introduce yourselves in the chat like we did before. You can unmute and talk about yourself, or you can just share it in the chat. Either way works, but I really want to meet you guys and get to know you all a little bit better. So feel free to share anything you'd like, but I'd like to know where you guys are from. I know we have some people abroad. Oh, it's raining outside. I know we have some people around the world, so I'd love to know where you guys are from. And if you could travel to any place in the world right now, where would you go? If you were to ask me that question, I would probably say Tokyo, Japan. That's been on my bucket list for a really long time now, so I want to visit. Just had to fix my lighting situation for a sec. Oh, we have some people from India, Canada, Azerbaijan. Really cool. An international audience. Also, it's raining outside, guys. I just was not expecting it to have a full-on storm today. So my apologies if you can't hear me, but I'll try my best to sort of project my voice. But yeah, we're already 6 minutes into the second workshop, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Well, this thing would work. Okay. If this is the first workshop, you guys are here with me. Hi, my name is Akhila Yellapragada. I'm a rising junior at the University of Georgia, studying computer science and financial technology. My current research areas include the development of CubeSats as a mission specialist and using immersive technology and generative AI to further enhance financial literacy education and building tools to increase financial literacy rates across the United States. Some of my hobbies outside of work and school include dancing, playing the violin, photography, reading, and modeling. So just some logistics for this workshop. This will be an interactive workshop, so please feel free to share your thoughts in the chat or unmute and share your thoughts. This is a networking 101 workshop, so this will be a little bit different from the previous workshop, and I will have you guys do a little surprise activity at the end. So if you want to go ahead and turn on your cameras, if you don't want to, you don't have to, but I really do want to be able to see who I'm talking to right now and be able to interact with you all. So we're going to be networking a lot in this workshop. And not only do I want you guys to know who I am, or do I want to know about you guys, but I want you all to sort of interact amongst yourselves and sort of network, create like a little networking environment here. So my slides are being a little glitchy, but why is networking important? So if you were with me in the previous workshop, which I'm sure a lot of you guys were, networking is really important because it allows you to push your personal brand to others. It allows you to further advertise yourselves. So in the previous workshop with personal branding, I helped you guys construct that personal statement for yourselves. And networking is about advertising that personal statement to other people. So just like building a personal brand, networking, of course, you can maximize your career potential and open yourself up to a world of opportunities. It helps build your confidence and communication skills as you keep advertising your personal statement with others. You finally have a sense and idea of who you are as a person and what you stand for. So networking can really help further build up confidence and improve your communication skills overall. You can build strong and long-lasting relationships if you network the right way, of course. And you can have like little knowledge transfers with people you network with. So there's something you might not know, but another person does, and they can teach you within this little interaction. Or if you're really skilled at something, you can help other people learn what you know about, and you can share that knowledge with other people. So where do I begin? Just a little story. So when I was a freshman in college, which was about 2 years ago, I joined as a computer science student, but I wasn't too sure like how to start networking because every person that I spoke to, that was a junior or senior or like they're just out of graduation, they were just out of college. They told me that I should network really well and build like a really strong community of people that I can work with in a professional setting. But I wasn't too sure where to begin because I think the word networking gets thrown around a lot, but we don't really know like how to do it or where we should start with networking, especially if you're, let's say, a college student or like someone who just entered the workforce. So just some examples on side. This is like not an exhaustive list, of course. There are plenty of ways you can network, but just some of the ways that I suggest are hackathons and workshops like this one over here. We're going to get into actually networking a little bit, but this is a great opportunity to meet other people within your field that are also interested in the same things as you are, or like same technical skills as you are. And that's a great place to sort of meet other people and learn about different skills and different in different areas of technology. Company sponsored events. So I know we have some like middle school, high school people in the chat, but and I don't quite know if like companies would quite have sponsored events at schools as of now. I know my school did, but even if like yours does, regardless of what year you are into your schooling, a lot of schools, whether it's middle school, high school, and even college, they will have company sponsored events. So for example, my school, the University of Georgia, we work very closely with NCR, which is National Cash Register. They created the first cash register, but they work really closely with NCR, which is based in Atlanta, to hold company sponsored events and workshops within the business school and the computing school. And within those workshops, they host like recruiting events, diversity training sessions, and workshop resume reviews or resume workshops. And those are great ways to really directly connect with recruiters or people at the company that you're interested in working at. Third one is career fairs. This is also more oriented towards college students, but every school, I'm sure, has a career fair. every semester. So if you want your chance to directly get in contact with a recruiter at a school or a company of your choice, I highly recommend going to career fairs to do that. People enter. Meeting people on your team at work or in your classroom. So if you're already in the environment in which you want to grow your career in, or if you want to take the next steps to accelerate your career, networking with people within your classroom or work is a great idea. Because let's say you're in a college class for computing or data structures, if computer science is what you guys are interested in, then talking to other people will really help you learn more about not only what their process is and this whole computer science program at their school, but also learn about the kind of opportunities that they're involved in. And it'll also give you an opportunity to make new friends within your circle, within your like professional circle. And you guys can go to events together, you guys can go to career fairs together or study together. And having that kind of circle in college or high school, where you can study with other people or kind of go to these like professional events together can really help you guys grow together as a group. And I've found it very beneficial because I've always learned off of other people on what they're doing and how I can further improve myself. And they've always been willing to help me as much as I've helped them kind of get each other to where we want to be. So that's another great idea. Social media and LinkedIn, of course. This is like, it depends per person. You don't have to be on social media or LinkedIn to network, but it is a great idea to sort of have a LinkedIn account all set up and ready, because that's a great idea. That's a great way to connect with other people. And I'm sure a lot of professionals and CEOs and recruiters are on LinkedIn already. So reaching out to those people can really help you grow your network and make those connections faster or facilitate better conversations with other people. So we have a question in the chat. Does LinkedIn connection count matter? Yes and no. It does matter because like the most obvious answer to that question is it can help you, like the more connections you have, of course, like the more people you can talk to and you have access to in your network. Of course, you don't want to network with someone that's not already within your network. If Thunder is crazy here. But of course, like if you're not already connected with someone on LinkedIn, then you might not have that conversation or that networking coffee chat or whatever to begin with. So having more connections can definitely help you. But of course, the specific count itself does not matter. So if you're interested in a specific field and you only have, let's say 10 connections, those 10 connections can be very powerful in getting to where you want to be. But as opposed to having 100 connections or 300 or 400 connections of people that maybe just don't use LinkedIn or not really relevant to your industry or your career field of interest, it won't really help in that manner. So having a few good quality number of connections will always take you a lot farther than having like hundreds of people that aren't really relevant to your field, if that makes sense. And the last one is a bit of a life hack. So taking a class at the business school or the business school at your university. Of course, this again does apply to college students, but if you're in college and you're not really pursuing a career in your business school, or if you're not majoring anything at your business school, I would highly recommend taking at least one class in your business school. So for example, the University of Georgia has Terry College of Business, which is very well known for their MBA program and their MIS programs. But when I first joined as a computer science student, I really did not want anything to do with business because I really had no interest in it. But later I found a passion for finance and financial technology. So when I took my first class in the Terry College of Business in my school, I networked so much more within that class than I ever did within my past 2 years of college. Because if it's one thing that business students know how to do really well, it's to network. So even though like business is something that you're not remotely interested in, having those connections within the field can help you get connections, can help you get connected to the field that you want to be in. So this is just a little life hack. You don't have to take like finance or accounting or economics or like anything super like kind of out there and difficult, but if there's like a small like a certification or entrepreneurship class that you can take, then definitely do get involved. I think it's worth it. And even if it's an easy A class, you can still meet people that are really, really into building those connections and expanding their network. So be sure to take that into consideration if you want to accelerate your networking process. Okay, so how do you build a successful relationship? So you met someone that you want to get connected with. You think that they would be pretty useful in the near future in terms of getting a job opportunity or further helping you understand something specific within your field. How do you facilitate that connection and make it long lasting? Well, draft and rehearse your elevator pitch. So if you were with me in the previous workshop, which was personal branding, I helped you guys draft an elevator pitch, or sorry, a personal statement, but that could also serve as your elevator pitch if you're able to consolidate it a little bit further and make it shorter. So having that elevator pitch is a powerful way to build that first impression on someone or with someone. So it is a very brief and powerful statement of who you are and what you do and what you bring to the table. And it's called an elevator pitch because when you're in an elevator, you're usually in it for not more than like 10 seconds usually. So within that elevator, if you're going to meet someone, you're going to quickly address who you like, your values, your proposition, what you are, who you are as a person and what you do within those 10 seconds. So how would you be able to do that? And that's by crafting an elevator pitch. So I'm going to get into crafting an elevator pitch a little further in the next couple of minutes. But until then, does anyone have any questions or concerns? Okay, no.
Questions about high school internships?
High school internships.
Yeah.
So as for high school internships, I would just say, just Google like high school internships for this field. There are not as many internships, especially paid internships for high school students as there are for college students, of course, but it's always worth reaching out to employers and other people and just asking if there are any opportunities for high school students. Even if there aren't internships, they'll probably offer something called externships, which is more of like an experiential learning program that a company offers. So it's kind of like a boot camp where they will teach you some skills, some technical skills, and you'll have like a little presentation at the end, but you can definitely look into that. So 3 C's of delivering an elevator pitch is to be clear, concise, and confident. Of course, if you're not clear, you're not going to be able to precisely address who you are as a person and what you want. You want to be concise. Of course, you don't want to be reading this person a whole essay. And more importantly, you want to be confident. If I'm slouching and I'm like whispering or murmuring under my breath, the other person that I'm speaking to, they're just not really going to care about what I have to say because I'm not projecting my voice, I'm not being confident, and I'm not really engaging with the other person and trying to captivate their attention. So just keep that in mind. Okay, we have an activity here. I think we are a little short on time, so I know a lot of us are kind of already coming in from the personal branding workshop, but for the next minute or couple minutes, take a piece of paper or type this out and write down your elevator pitch. So unlike the other activity, I actually gave you guys a little template here to sort of work with. So this is the elevator pitch you can work with in order to kind of craft that. So first things first, you're going to introduce yourself. So I'm just going to kind of walk you through my example. So I'll be like, hi, my name is Akhila. I'm going to summarize what I do and my personal brand statement. I am currently a junior at the University of Georgia studying computer science and financial technology. And I'm also working as a mission specialist at EJSSRL, working on the development of CUBE satellites. I am in search for opportunities within the aerospace engineering industry, also within the financial technology industry. And you're going to close with a call to action. I am looking forward to speaking with you in the near future about potential opportunities within this field or within this company. So let's take a second there to sort of draft that out. And in just a sec, hopefully we have enough time, but once you have that down, we're going to do a little breakout room session. So I'm going to go ahead and create breakout rooms for everyone. I know there's only about 10 of us, so there will be about 5 people within each breakout room, 4 to 5 people within each breakout room. So you'll be assigned to a breakout room randomly, and you're going to draft, or you're actually going to practice your elevator pitch with other attendees in the room. And if you, this is your opportunity to network, which is why it's called Networking 101. So you can go ahead and share your portfolios or your LinkedIn page in the chat. Of course, if this was in person, I would suggest you guys to make little business cards for yourself. I was just at a conference this past week, by the way. It was the Small Sack conference up in Logan, Utah. And I ended up distributing about 50 of these business cards to a bunch of companies and employers and other people at the conference. And it was quite the hit. So if you're in college or, you're in the workforce already, create business cards. I have a little LinkedIn over here. Like this QR code goes straight to my LinkedIn and my resume if you scan it. So if you're interested in creating these, reach out to me afterwards. I can help you guys make that. But these are a great idea if you're at a career fair or you're at a conference. They really help. So I'm going to go ahead and make breakout rooms. This thing lets me. But before we get started, does anyone have any questions or concerns? Good to go? Okay. All right, we're creating the breakout rooms, and at the end, we're going to come back together and sort of have like a little debriefing session and talk about how that went. That sounds good? Okay, I think everyone is sort of wrapping up their breakout room session. So I'm gonna wheel everyone back in. Okay. I think everyone's just coming back in, but yeah, that let it look for a sec. Yeah, that concludes our two-part workshop series. I am going to go ahead and link the survey in the chat. So everyone, please do take it. Oops.
Yeah, that sounds great. And Akhila, if you want me to put it in our Discord server as well, then I can do it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And okay, yeah, if you could go ahead and share that in the Discord server as well, that'd be great. But thank you guys so much for joining my workshop series. I know it was a little bit long and there was a lot of information, but I really appreciate you guys joining and sort of interacting with everyone. I really enjoy doing this kind of stuff for you all. So it was really nice having a whole audience out there to sort of not only speak to, but also work with and helping you guys build your personal brand and network with. So again, please do take the survey. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to reach out to me. I'm also putting my LinkedIn in the chat if you guys want to go ahead and connect with me on there. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining. It was really nice
Thank
and hope
you.
everyone has a great weekend.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick around for a few more minutes if anyone has any more questions or comments or concerns if you want to address. If you want me to review your elevator pitch, I'd be willing to do that for you as well.
Okay, I think we're good, probably.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much for having me. It's really fun.
You, I
Course, thank you so
didn't
much.
I'm sorry.
I didn't
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.